Everything changed in a matter of minutes on a seemingly ordinary workday when a serious machinery accident struck the heart of a long-standing family farming operation in Nebraska. The incident involved a key technical figure injured while inspecting a mechanized harvesting system at the family's equipment facility. What began as a routine operational check escalated into a life-altering emergency, leaving him critically injured and requiring extended medical care and rehabilitation. In an instant, the farm's production rhythm collapsed under the weight of uncertainty. Seasonal planting schedules, livestock coordination, and contractual obligations with buyers were suddenly thrown into chaos. The family's carefully balanced system, built over decades of intergenerational planning, was no longer functioning as intended. Within hours, the reality became clear. Without immediate intervention, the entire agricultural cycle risked failure. At the center of this disruption stood Laura Wilson, who had to confront not only the fragility of the system, but also the emotional shock within her family. What followed was not just a crisis of production, but a test of endurance, leadership, and survival under extreme pressure that would define the next chapter of their lives. A century-old agricultural foundation under pressure. The farm at the center of this crisis was not an ordinary operation, but a multi-generational agricultural enterprise rooted deeply in Midwest farming tradition. Established in the early 20th century by an immigrant ancestor seeking stability and land ownership, it had grown from modest acreage into a large-scale production system spanning thousands of acres. Over time, it expanded into corn and soybean cultivation, while also integrating livestock and mechanized farming practices. Each generation contributed to its evolution, gradually transforming it into a hybrid model that combined traditional agricultural knowledge with modern technology. The operation was widely regarded within the region as both productive and symbolically important, representing the endurance of family-run agriculture in a rapidly industrializing industry. However, its size and complexity also meant increased dependence on key individuals who managed technical systems and operational logistics. This structural vulnerability remained largely hidden until the accident exposed it. As planting season approached, the absence of technical leadership created immediate strain across all departments. Long-standing contracts, supply agreements, and equipment partnerships suddenly became fragile. The farm's history of stability was now being tested by a moment of unprecedented disruption that threatened its long-term continuity. Laura Wilson and the weight of generational responsibility. Laura Wilson had long been positioned as part of the next generation of leadership within the family enterprise. Raised within the rhythms of agricultural life, she developed early familiarity with livestock management, crop systems, and machinery operations. Her education in business administration further shaped her understanding of organizational structure, financial planning, and operational efficiency. Over time, she became increasingly involved in both fieldwork and strategic decision-making, gradually taking on responsibilities that connected traditional farming practices with digital communication and modern business approaches. By the time of the crisis, she was already managing a significant portion of leased farmland and contributing to broader operational planning. Her role extended beyond agriculture into education and outreach as she documented farm life and shared practical insights with a growing audience. This visibility placed her in a unique position, both as a working farmer and as a public-facing representative of modern agriculture. When the accident occurred, she was forced to transition immediately from a developing leadership role into full operational responsibility. The expectation of continuity suddenly became a burden of survival, requiring rapid decisions under pressure while maintaining cohesion across family, workforce, and external partners. The day the system collapsed. The accident marked a turning point that fractured the farm's operational stability in an immediate and visible way. The injured technical leader had been responsible for machinery oversight, maintenance coordination, and field operations scheduling, functions essential to daily agricultural continuity. Without this central role, the system lost its operational anchor. Equipment preparation slowed, field planning became inconsistent, and communication between departments deteriorated. The timing worsened the impact, as it coincided with critical preparation for spring planting, one of the most important periods in the agricultural calendar. Delays in seeding and soil management quickly translated into measurable productivity concerns. Financial stakeholders began reassessing risk exposure, while supply partners adjusted or paused agreements due to uncertainty. Within the family, Emotional distress compounded logistical challenges, creating overlapping pressures that affected decision-making. Emergency responses were implemented, but the scale of disruption exceeded normal contingency planning. What had previously functioned as a coordinated agricultural system now operated in fragmented sections, each struggling to compensate for the missing technical leadership. The collapse was not only physical or economic, it was structural, revealing how deeply dependent the entire operation had become on a single point of expertise, assuming control amid operational breakdown. In the immediate aftermath, Laura Wilson and her husband stepped into leadership roles that required rapid adaptation. Their responsibilities expanded overnight to include full coordination of crop production, equipment scheduling, labor management, and contract negotiations. The transition was not gradual but forced by necessity, leaving little time for structured handover or preparation. They inherited not only active farmland but also leased plots and existing agreements with external partners, all of which required immediate attention. Communication with suppliers and distributors became a priority as uncertainty threatened to disrupt seasonal cycles. Internal workflows were reorganized to compensate for the absence of technical oversight, with tasks redistributed among available family members and workers. Despite these efforts, inefficiencies were unavoidable, and early reports indicated measurable declines in productivity. Financial projections were adjusted downward as delays accumulated across multiple operational stages. At the same time, emotional strain within the family added complexity to decision-making processes. Leadership was no longer theoretical or planned, it became reactive, immediate, and continuous. Every decision carried increased weight, as the farm's survival depended on maintaining momentum during a period of structural instability, early recovery, and measurable setbacks. As the first weeks of crisis management unfolded, the effects of disruption became quantifiable. Seasonal yields declined compared to previous cycles, reflecting inefficiencies in planting coordination and equipment utilization. Some cooperative agreements were temporarily suspended or renegotiated due to concerns about delivery timelines and operational capacity. Maintenance schedules were disrupted, leading to further delays in field readiness. The absence of experienced technical oversight meant that troubleshooting and machinery optimization took longer than usual, increasing labor demands on remaining staff. Financial pressure intensified as operational costs rose while productivity decreased. Despite these setbacks, the farm continued to operate through coordinated effort and improvisation. Emergency adjustments were introduced to stabilize output, including external contractor support and revised scheduling systems. However, the underlying vulnerability remained evident. The operation was functioning, but not at full structural efficiency. The recovery process was therefore not linear but adaptive, shaped by constant reassessment of available resources and shifting priorities. Each step forward required balancing immediate survival needs with long-term sustainability concerns, creating an ongoing tension between stability and adaptation, public attention and narrative transformation. As news of the incident spread within agricultural and regional communities, the farm increasingly became a subject of public discussion. Industry observers viewed the event as an illustrative case of the risks associated with highly mechanized family farming systems. Media coverage highlighted both the scale of the operation and the vulnerability exposed by the accident. At the same time, Laura Wilson's existing public presence contributed to broader visibility, as audiences familiar with her agricultural communication work followed updates closely. Discussions extended beyond productivity concerns to broader themes such as workplace safety, operational resilience, and the role of technology in modern farming. In professional forums, the incident was analyzed as an example of how reliance on specialized individuals can create systemic risk in large agricultural enterprises. Public commentary also emphasized the emotional dimension of the crisis, recognizing the human cost behind operational disruption. Over time, the narrative shifted from immediate accident reporting toward a broader reflection on agricultural systems and resilience. The farm was no longer viewed solely as a production unit, but also as a case study in adaptation under extreme conditions, drawing attention from both practitioners and policy-oriented observers. Community networks and family resilience. In the face of sustained pressure, support structures within the surrounding community played a crucial role in stabilizing the situation. Local farming networks contributed equipment sharing arrangements, allowing essential operations to continue despite resource constraints. community organizations and agricultural groups provided temporary financial assistance and logistical support to maintain seasonal workforce needs. Medical and rehabilitation support systems were activated for the injured family member, integrating long-term recovery planning into the broader family response. Within the household, responsibilities were redistributed among family members, each contributing according to capacity and availability. Emotional support from religious and civic institutions also helped sustain morale during the most difficult phases of the transition. These combined efforts created a layered support system that extended beyond the farm itself, demonstrating the importance of social infrastructure in agricultural resilience. Rather than relying solely on internal capacity, the operation increasingly depended on external collaboration and mutual assistance. This collective response reduced the risk of complete operational collapse and provided a foundation for gradual stabilization. The experience reinforced the idea that modern farming systems are not isolated entities but interconnected networks shaped by both economic and human relationships. Rebuilding through structural reform. As the situation stabilized, attention shifted toward long-term restructuring of the farm's operational model. Leadership roles were formally redefined to separate technical, managerial, and communication responsibilities more clearly. External specialists were introduced to support machinery maintenance and reduce dependency on single individuals. Training programs focusing on safety procedures, emergency response, and equipment handling were implemented to strengthen workforce preparedness. Technological integration also expanded, with increased use of data-driven tools for crop monitoring, soil analysis, and operational tracking. These changes aim to reduce vulnerability and improve system redundancy. Internal documentation processes were updated to ensure continuity in decision-making even during personnel changes. The restructuring also emphasized risk management, encouraging proactive identification of operational weaknesses before they could escalate into crises. Although these reforms required time and investment, they gradually improved stability and efficiency. The farm began transitioning from a highly centralized model toward a more distributed system of responsibility, where multiple individuals could support critical functions. This shift marked an important evolution in its organizational design, reflecting lessons learned from the crisis and a commitment to long-term sustainability. From farm operation to knowledge model. Over time, the experience of crisis and recovery positioned the farm as more than a production unit. It began contributing to broader discussions on agricultural management, resilience, and operational safety. Collaborations with educational institutions and agricultural organizations expanded, focusing on practical research and applied learning. Data collected from field operations was increasingly used to improve risk assessment and system optimization. The farm's restructuring experience became a reference point for discussions on how family-run agricultural enterprises can adapt to modern challenges. Participation in advisory groups and industry initiatives further extended its influence beyond local operations. This transformation reflected a shift from purely production-oriented goals toward a hybrid role that included education, knowledge sharing, and policy engagement. While agricultural output remained central, the broader impact of the farm now included contributions to systemic understanding within the industry. The integration of practical experience with structured learning created a model that others could analyze and adapt. In this way, the crisis indirectly contributed to the development of a more widely applicable framework for managing agricultural resilience in complex environments. Emerging stability after disruption. By the following year, signs of stabilization began to appear across operational, financial, and organizational dimensions. Production systems became more consistent as new workflows took hold. Communication between departments improved, and reliance on single points of failure was reduced. Although full recovery required ongoing effort, the farm had regained a functional rhythm. Leadership structures were now more clearly defined, allowing for faster decision-making and improved coordination. External partnerships provided additional support, helping to reduce operational strain during peak seasons. The recovery process also fostered a stronger awareness of risk management and contingency planning across all levels of the organization. While challenges remained, particularly in maintaining efficiency under changing conditions, the overall trajectory had shifted from crisis response to structured rebuilding. The experience had permanently altered how the farm approached planning, safety, and operational design. What emerged was not a return to the previous system, but the formation of a more resilient version shaped by adversity. This new phase reflected both continuity and transformation, combining inherited agricultural tradition with modern adaptive practices. Conclusion: continuity through adaptation. The journey from sudden crisis to gradual recovery revealed the fragile balance underlying even the most established agricultural systems. A single accident exposed structural dependencies that had developed over generations, forcing immediate adaptation under extreme pressure. Yet the response also demonstrated the capacity for resilience embedded within family networks, community support systems, and adaptive leadership. Through rapid decision-making, structural reform, and external collaboration, the operation managed not only to survive but to evolve. The experience highlighted the importance of diversification in responsibility, investment in training, and integration of modern tools to reduce systemic risk. It also underscored the human dimension of agricultural work, where emotional endurance is as critical as technical capability. In the end, the farm's trajectory became a story of transformation rather than collapse, a shift from vulnerability toward a more distributed and resilient model. The outcome was not simply recovery, but reinvention shaped by necessity, experience, and collective effort, ensuring continuity in a changing agricultural landscape.